Spaniards have come together to explain to you the British history.
In order to save you time, because time is money, and the world needs more money to build more walls.
Mr. President, Spaniards are not Mexican. Yes, they have the same language and they have a siesta, but they're not the same. And Spaniards are better because they are separated from Mexico by a huge Dutch ocean. And also, the Spanish people don't like spicy food. They think it's disgusting.
Also, Brits are Spaniards. It's true. The first known population in Britain came from Spain, so the Brits are indeed Spaniards. It's amazing.
Yeah, and then came the Romans, and then the Anglo-Saxons,
And the Vikings, and the French Normans.
Tudors, and the Scottish Stuarts, and the German Georgians.
But that doesn't really matter because according to Ripley, Africa begins in the Pyrenees, so Brits are indeed Africans. It's amazing.
So Mr. William Ripley, who was of British origin, was in actual fact Spanish and African? Outrageous!
I know, right? And just so you know, Mr. President, Spanish people already hate being Spanish as it is, so they don't need your help for that. This program will be on the internet, with pictures, so you won't have to read. Tiring.
Imagine going to the United Nations and being able to talk about Athelstan, the first British king. I mean, the Brits don't even remember him. You'll know more than the Brits, and you'll be smarter than them. Fantastic.
Mr. President, you can find quite a few great guys in British history, just like your friend Putin, like Henry VIII. And please don't forget to send a message to the Brits on behalf of the Spaniards. Hey Brits, please don't leave Europe. We love you and we will give you 3 portions of paella and sangria on the Spanish beaches if you don't leave us.
Now let's have some British history while we're waiting here in this wonderful queue. It's a great queue. It's the greatest queue ever.
Yeah, Mr. President, let's have some British history for you. It's going to be great.
I began the definitive conquest of Britain after early invasions by Caesar and Caligula. Due to my limp and slight defensiveness, nobody of potential enemies saw me as a serious threat, so I became the Roman Emperor. I was an able and efficient administrator and ambitious builder, constructing many new roads, aqueducts, and canals across the empire.
I was the king of British Celtic tribe. I was fogged and my daughter raped. I led an offspring against the occupying forces of the Roman Empire. I defaced a detachment of Legion Knights, Hispana, and burnt and destroyed Londinium. 70,000 Romans and British were carried and tortured.
I established Saxon Christian rule over Wessex, and then on to most of England to secure his hard-won boundaries. I founded a permanent army and an embryonic royal navy. I secured my place in history with the Anglo-Saxon chronicles, and with the primary education began to the taught in England instead of Latin.
I defected a combined army of Scots, Celts, Danes, and Vikings. For the first time, an individual Anglo-Saxon kingdom was brought together to create a single and unified kingdom. After conquering the Viking kingdom of York, I was the first Anglo-Saxon ruler of the whole of England and king of all Britain.
I am William I, the Conqueror. I was the first Norman king. I ordered the compilation of the Domesday Book, where all of England was recorded. So I knew exactly what my new kingdom contained and how much taxes I could raise in order to fund my armies. It also developed a massive plan to build Norman castles.
I am young. I was cruel, self-indulgent, selfish and avaricious. I raised punitive taxes, so all the elements of society, clerical and lay, were against me. The Pope excommunicated me. I had to sign the Magna Carta, which reinstated the rights of all my subjects. I am known as the worst English king.
I am Richard I. When I was 16, I was leading my own army putting down rebellions in France. Although crowned King of England, I only spent 6 months in England. I was the leading Christian commander during the 3 Crusades.
I was Henry VIII. I had 6 wives. With this rhyme you can remember them. Divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. My first divorce caused the split from Rome, and I declared myself the head of the Church of England. I dissolved the monasteries, and with the money gained, I brought about an effective navy.
I'm Philip II of Spain. My father arranged my marriage with Queen Mary I of England. I married Mary at Winchester Cathedral, just 2 days after our first meeting. My view of the affair wasn't really political. I was to arrange England with my wife. As I couldn't read English, a note of all Master of State was made in Latin or Spanish. Upon Mary's death, the throne went to Elizabeth I. Sent her a proposal of marriage. However, she delayed in answering. Afterwards, she ordered to attack Spanish ships, so I had to plan the invasion of England with the Spanish Armada.
My name is Elizabeth I. I was a remarkable woman, not for my wisdom. I was popular with the people and I had a genius for the selection of capable advisors. Drake and many more made England respect and fear. I defeated the Spanish Armada and the first Virginian colony was founded.
I was Charles I. I tried to get married with Maria Ana de España, but I was rejected because I wasn't Catholic. I believed that I ruled by governing right, so I found difficult to reign with the parliament, and I didn't accept the constitutional document, the Petition of Right. This led to the outbreak of the English Civil War in 1642. I was beheaded. I'm Oliver Cromwell. I was a leading Puritan figure. I reshaped cavalry forces and organized the new model army. When Charles was exhausted, I declared Britain a republic, the Commonwealth, and he wanted to become its Lord Protector, a de facto dictatorship.
My name is George III. My reign was one of elegance but also one of the most intense kingdoms, including the Industrial Revolution, the Boston Tea Party, in 1773. That was the first sign of the troubles that were to come in America. The American colonies proclaimed their independence on July 4, 1776, and I had to deal with the Napoleonic Wars. In 1801, Ireland was added to Great Britain, so the United Kingdom was created.
I am William IV. I once known as the Sailor King, and people loved me because of my lack of pretension. During my reign, the poor law was updated. Child labor retreated and slavery abolished in nearly all of the British Empire.
I'm Victoria. In 1840, I married my cousin Albert, who was a virtual ruler of the country. I was a pillar of respectability. I created the Victoria and Albert Museum, the Science Museum, the Imperial College, and the Royal Albert Hall. My reign saw the British Empire double in size. In 1845, Ireland suffered the Great Famine. 1 million people died.
I am George V. My years on the throne were difficult. The First World War in 1914-1918 and the troubles in Ireland, which led to the creation of the Irish Free States, were considerable problems. In 1911 was established the supremacy of the elected British House of Commons over the unelected House of Lords, and in 1924 the first Labour PM was appointed.
I'm George VI. Throughout the Second World War that started in 1939, the Queen and me set an example of courage and fortitude. We remained at Buckingham Palace for the duration of the war in spite of the bombing. The palace was bombed more than once. I was in close touch with the Prime Minister, Winston Churchill, throughout the war. The post-war years of my reign were one of the great social changes and saw the start of the National Health Service.
Like my parents, I was heavily involved in the war effort during the Second World War, serving in the women's branch of the British Army. I married my cousin, Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, and we have 4 children. I became Queen of 7 Commonwealth countries. In 2015, I became Britain's longest-serving monarch, ruling longer than my great-great-grandmother, Queen Victoria, who reigned for 63 years.
I'm Winston Churchill. I was the Prime Minister who led Britain to victory in the Second World War against Hitler. Ideologically, I was economic liberal. I began and ended my parliamentary career as a member of the Conservative Party. I received the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1953, and I was considered the most important figure in British history.